Hey there, Newtypes. Took a week off to catch up with some life duties, and while I did that, GD04 settled, and we only got a week of it before the next NTC Mission 3 began this past weekend. Not a lot of time to brew, but plenty of time for interesting decks to emerge from various events across the world. I did happen to do a fair bit of testing between then and now in preparation for Mission 3, and while I had some spicy decks in the oven, I ultimately settled on an Old Faithful build to kick the season off. I was not disappointed. Those other mentioned builds will be probably featured in the next couple weeks as well. Of course, we try to keep things a little spicy here no matter what, and while it might not be a brand new deck, I think this updated Meteor blockers list is worth highlighting, and it does get some fantastic new cards to work with from GD04. If you want to skip the gameplay and go straight to the spice, feel free to skip to the Yap breakdown segment at the end. I'll timestamp that in the description. I certainly don't mind if you do this. I just appreciate you taking the time to check this video out in the first. Shout outs to my LGS and community of players that allow me to set up and record these matches so I can upload them here on YouTube. Another shout out to the community of content creators in the Gundam TCG space. They're all really talented creators, honestly, much more than myself, and they all do a fantastic job of bringing many types of Gundam TCG content to the sphere that I consume regularly myself. If you have the time to check their channels out, I'll have a short list in the description below, and I promise it'll be worth your time. If you happen to like what you see here, please consider dropping the video a like and the channel a subscribe. If you have any questions, suggestions, or simply want to banter, drop a comment below. I read every single one of them and do my very best to reply. Now, that's enough of an intro though, right? It's time for Operation Meteor to launch. Mission start. All right, so I am trying to beat my opponent's dice roll here, and I roll a 4 and handily lose that. As you can see, he has a 6 at least on the table. I can't really tell what the other one is, but he beat me, so he is going to be going second. I will be going first. Not great for me, but it does tell him that tell me that he's on a more mid-range deck. I don't know what he's actually on yet. And here I have a Wing Gundam, the Silver Bullet, a Lefrith, and a pair of duos. I don't really hate it, but I also don't really love it because I don't know what my opponent has. So I do worry that these duos are going to be eating my hand away for a while. My opponent does opt to mulligan, whereas I'm kind of humming and hawing here if I am going to mulligan myself. I do eventually decide I'm going to keep it. While my opponent shuffles up, I lay down my shields. Give my opponent the cutty. Uh, Sets down his shields, and we're going to get going here. For me, it's a very, very simple draw go. Opponent does the same. I'm basically still there. I could play that underground desert base, but I opt not to. Not sure what my opponent's playing yet, but he does show a Lefrith, so I know he's on white. I'm able to mimic the play myself. And I am curious if he's red-white or red-blue. There's a potential white-red or white-blue. Plays Industrial 7. And a second Lefrith. Get to my level 4 here. I have now 4 pilots in hand. So I opt to play that underground base here. Just to see if I can get a unit. And it's not a unit, it is Hero. So now I'm sitting with a hand full of pilots. It is 2 duos, 2 heroes, and a Wu Fei. Not my favorite look, and I am debating if I play the duo here onto my Lefrith, but ultimately I decide, nah, we're just gonna hold it. Still not sure what my opponent's second color is just yet. Could be red, could be blue. Could be purple. But with Industrial 7, unlikely. Plays an Overflowing Affection, so we're still not quite sure what he's on. But he shows a Sword Strike, basically a card that he's also figured is not going to get any real use in this matchup. Lucky Guy has a second Overflowing Affection. Decides to discard a Psycho Gundam, letting me know that he is indeed on blue-white. He's managed to sculpt his hand a little, so I don't have too many other options here myself. So I set up a Silver Bullet, and seeing as I have 5 pilots in hand, this is actually where I opt to do duo on the Silver Bullet, making it a 5/6, which does insulate it from a Gundam plus Amuro play. Opponent pays 4 and plays down an Ale. He does debate if he's going to play a pilot onto it this turn, but ultimately he just passes the turn. Does give me the tell that he has a pilot in hand. Granted, that could have been a bluff, but I was pretty certain he had a pilot most of this time. Deciding if he was going to get aggressive or not, and he just opts to stay defensive, which is fine with me. However, with 4 pilots in hand and not a ton of units that are really applicable right now, I play my Wing Gundam and pair it with Hero, and decide to go on the offensive before he does, making him have the responsive play. I do take out his Lefrith, and I take 2 damage and breach his Industrial 7. I am at 6 and holding 2 wing zeros. Not the worst. Definitely not bad for the late game here. And knowing he's on at least Psycho for sure, Psycho Freedom possibly, I am pretty confident having wing zeros in hand because I do have better units at this. He's also staring down a 7/5 currently. He plays a Benager onto his Ale, bouncing my Lefrith and sending that Ale, basically a 6/6 into my wing, which I'm okay with. I managed to get a unit and a shield and another 2 cards for it, so we are feeling pretty good with that trade. He plays a Psycho and a 4 and goes to crash into my underground desert base, which I do let him have. Not quite ready to block with my Silver Bullet yet. Mostly because I have no real way to crack back, so I want to be able to do that. Now here I kind of missequence. I play Lefrith when I probably should have played the Peace Million first. I was kind of getting ahead of myself in my head. I did pull a flat, which I end up playing anyways, and I would have played the Lefrith and the flat both, but had I drawn something different, it would have possibly changed the trajectory of my turn. So I take a swing at his shields. I am intending likely to block his Psycho if it goes after my Silver Bullet. Opponent spends 6 and plays a destroy mode with a Benager. And don't love that. He takes a swing, breaks my base, and rests my flat. Kind of changing what my game plan had been. Because now his Psycho is going to swing and heal. And I don't love that for me. He is counting his cards and deciding to swing or not, and realizes he's at 5 in hand, so he plays a Benager down onto his Lefrith, and then takes a swing and kills my Silver Bullet, breaching for 3, and then healing 2 off of his 5 damage onto his Psycho. He takes a swing with Lefrith at my flat, and I decide just to bounce the Lefrith. He's unable to replay it because he did tap himself out, so this is kind of my chance. Unfortunately, I'm at the mercy of top deck. And while I am at 8 now, I did manage to get a Death Scythe off the top, and that was a very big deal for me. So I do still have 1 duo left in hand, which is perfect for what I want to be doing here, where I'm now playing my Death Scythe, linking it with duo, getting that boosted resource, and then first striking into his destroy mode. Now, I have the option here of playing one of my pilots onto one of my blockers and saving a blocker, but I decide I'm just going to throw both of them into the Psycho while I have the chance. A little aggressive, but I definitely didn't want to waste my pilots right now because my outs are still very much linking right now with my opponent without a shield and having 4 shields, or fire base and having 4 shields. He plays his 3rd Overflowing Affection. I believe that's all 4 seen now because I burst one of them. Discards a Graceful Demeanor. Then plays out a Unicorn Destroy with another Benager and goes for the trade with my Death Scythe. Pitches a Lefrith to the ability of the Unicorn and puts it into his hand, or puts Benager back into his hand, and then plays a flat. We are at level 10 now. So I just go and drop the wingzero, and then follow it up with a flat of my own. Opponent does have a considerably larger hand than mine, so I am playing from behind a little bit, and I need to kind of get value where I can. He plays out a Psycho with 4, but doesn't swing, and then plays another flat. Draw a flat again here. So I do decide now is the time to be the beatdown because I am pretty much committed to dropping this wingzero. So I take a swing at his shields. I hit a kind-hearted, lets him draw, and then I send the flat into him. My gamble does work, and he hits an unforeseen incident, putting him down to 2 shields, and unfortunately the unforeseen does not do him any good. And I mess up here. I should be playing the wingzero first, blowing up one of his flats, and dealing 3 to my own. And then I toss out my other flat in hand, holding back a hero and a Wu Fei. Now, the unfortunate part is that he is going to be able to start coming into my units here. He plays Industrial 7, takes one of his shields away, think he's just looking for options. I'm not sure what he had in his hand here, but it clearly isn't a lot of great stuff. So he drops a kind-hearted, just cycling through his deck, trying to draw something. An answer, I think, because he is very clearly on a clock. Eight resources left. So he's clearly counting something out here. Plays a Kira on the flat. Takes a swing at my wingzero, and I do block with my flat, even though he's minus 2 AP from it. Plays an Awakened, and he has the Menager for the Awakened. He opts to swing at my wingzero for 6 damage with the Awakened, and then the Psycho into it to get the Breach. He does manage to only take, what is it? 5, he does take 5 damage on his Psycho and repairs it. I do, however, top deck the Shenlong, or sorry, not the Shenlong, the Altron here for the win. Taking a swing at his base, breaking it, taking a swing with my flat, and then I have the Shenlong to clean him up. Definitely down to the wire here, though. And had I not drawn that Ultron, I definitely would have lost this one because of the suppression on the Awakened. All right, so hopefully that was a good showcase. I do my best not to give you guys games that are me steamrolling. As a result, it's basically my W's because, in fairness, a lot of my losses are not very close games. And the times I do have to choose between a close game or a W, generally the W is a much better showcase of the deck. And whenever I'm posting these videos up, I do genuinely believe these are good decks. They might not necessarily be the best deck or the best build of the deck, but they are the appropriate concept for what I'm trying to show for you and what you can build off of yourself. Now, as you can see, this is green-white blockers, Meteor blockers, wingzero, whatever you want to call it, the green devil of the format with updates, and also the spice really being that there is no Kira and no Ale, no launchers, no striker packs. Basically, all of the seed things are gone. That is by choice. I do actually believe that this is the better version of the deck right now. I am very successful with it. I have won online locals. We've won the NTCs, and we are on a very positive win rate. I think we're something like live games 21 and like 2, or 21 and 4, something like that. And then for those of you in the know, I won the Mr. Midnight Locals circuit with this. Playing some pretty strong decks too, so I don't think this deck is any slouch. Now, the numbers are definitely something to adjust, but as I always say, do it on your own. I will talk about the 3 new cards that are in this deck primarily right now: the Silver Bullet, the Flat, and Graceful Demeanor. Starting with Graceful Demeanor, I think this card is incredible. It's going to be a automatic 2 of, if not 3 of, in a lot of decks. Probably 3 of in control, 2 of in aggro mid-range, sorry. Because even in an aggro deck, it allows you to get some tempo, and it also allows you to go past the blockers. And if something's running white blockers, it's going to have Lefriths and it's going to have flats. Very unlikely to have anything less. You might see the odd Rick Diaz flat, whatever spread. Might be a 3-3-3 spread. It might be a 6-2-4 and 4 Rick Diaz, right? But you are going to see a lot of level 3 things. And as an aggro deck, if you are running white, which some are, it is going to help you get there. The Victory Gundam, blue, white, does run Graceful Demeanors, from what I understand. So and that helps them get past blockers, helps them get past tokens, all those other things, and it bounces things. So it is a good card. I think it is going to be a staple going forward. I believe it's already up to $3 or $4 in the market, and it could easily hit $5 if it continues to see a rise in play. The flat is basically Lefrith 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a good card. It is taken over Rick Diaz in this deck, and I think it's going to do that in a lot of other decks. The 2-4 stat line is incredible. It is going to help you survive a lot of the aggro rush, because the games that you're able to go drop a blocker on curve and then basically work your way up to 2 blockers a turn, you're going to survive most of those onslaughts, especially with the support of Graceful Demeanor. It also enables the EX resource level 6 turn to play a level 2 blocker, or sorry, level 3 blocker, and your level 5 blocker with the Silver Bullet and Flat or Lefrith together. Being able to play 2 bodies at once is generally where you want to be to survive these aggressive decks right now. And that has been the key since I'd say, middle of GD03 onward. The Wing Gundam Bird mode has shifted down to 2 here. I think because I'm running the Death Scythe, it's not as necessary, but I like having it there to kind of complement or give me an option for the Silver Bullet line of play, where I go, maybe I'm on my level 6 natural without the EX resource, just level 6 resource. I can go Silver Bullet Bird mode, get to 7, and then on my what would have been my level 7 turn, get to my 8 to leapfrog that, be ready to threaten a wingzero or the altron. Beyond that, I think the Death Scythe is in an incredible position right now. It allows you to ramp on curve, and it also allows you to kill some of the bigger things that are showing up in the meta. Full Armor Unicorn is actually a 7/6 stat line that this card deals with. It's a turn behind, but it is a good answer to a full armor. It's a good answer to a destroy mode. 6 HP is something that is very common, more than 7 or 8. Even though now I believe Awakened and Norn are reaching these crazy stat lines for attack or for HP, so it's getting a little harder. But I would much rather have it, especially even those matchups, because we are seeing a lot of AP reduction, and Death Scythe linked with Duo does not have its AP reduced, which is an incredible tool right now. The Altron, I think, is also in a very good spot, so I'm running 2 and 2 with Wu Fei. Wu Fei also can pair to the Wing Gundam, and he can do his ability there. Now, the Ultron, I think, is strong uniquely because of all the blockers in the format. There's a ton of 2/4s, there's a ton of Silver Bullets, there's a ton of Perfect Strikes, there's Zelotes, people are running Forbiddens now. There's just a lot of blockers showing up in various forms. Oh, not even just the Forbiddens. There's also the Blast Impulse, right? And then some purple blockers, Gusian still. So being able to hit those with 5 damage, aside from the Silver Bullet, is still very relevant. And even with the Silver Bullet, there are often times that 2 damage that you're able to deal to it is actually all you need to clear it. So late game, I think Ultron is very, very useful and also very, very needed. The card I would say that I'm not sold on, which I think could just be Unforeseens or Striker packs in this deck, is the Path to Victory or Defeat. And I don't know if I like it because it never really showed up for me. However, when I was testing it, it was working well. It's just in the most recent NTC and even the Midnight Circuit locals that I won, it wasn't really a card that felt super strong. And while I didn't see it very much, it also just didn't feel super impactful when I did have it. It didn't really get me anything I needed. It did allow me to dig deeper, and I always grabbed a useful card, but not a card I needed. And maybe an Unforeseen might have been better in that situation or something, right? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe the Witch and the Bride, even just another like a bounce or something. The other option is it could easily just be Ale Strikes. I wouldn't actually hate a pair of Ale Strikes in the deck. The other option is, upping your Death Scythe and duo count, making it a 4 and a 4, and just going in on your ramp game. I'm not 100%, but that's just food for thought there. As always, I always say, build this deck the way you want, change it up, make it your own. But I don't think we are stuck using Kira and the strikes anymore. I think we can actually lean into the G team. I think the G team pilots and their units are in a pretty good space, even if you aren't using them anymore or weren't using them previously. I think Death Scythe is in a good space now. It wasn't previously, it is now. But I think that's it for now. I will leave you with that, and I hope you have some good luck in your NTCs. Your mission 3, win yourself a Lupus, win yourself Ryusei Go. I know not a lot of people are super hyped for these prizes, but I think they're pretty cool. I like the ones I have, and again, I'm always going to add things to my collection. I'm always going to keep trying to win. And at the very least, if this isn't your cup of tea, maybe it gives you an idea or gives someone you know an idea. That's all I can really ask for. But that'll be it for now. I'll see you in the next one.